Hey folks, how is everybody doing tonight? This is going to be a real low-key stream. No craziness. Well, I can't predict what we're going to do as far as craziness goes, but anyways, welcome to the second stream today. This is kind of like the late night, I got nowhere to go stream. Doing that 10 o'clock to noon, at least where I'm at, live streaming block. It's hard to do all the things I want to do because I'm going to be butting up against old Mr. Joshua Bardwell, and I'm not going to compete with that. Not that I'm trying to, but it's I get off and I'll go watch his stream, and then I'll watch Ciati after that, and then my day's over with. But anyways, if you didn't catch the early stream this morning, I talked about Express LRS and the fact that I lost a quad. I'm not 100% attributing it to Express LRS, but I'm not saying it's because of Express LRS. I did a lot of things wrong, possibly. I was running a beta version of Betaflight, a nightly version of OpenTX, and a release candidate of Express LRS, and I lost a TinyTrainer. Went to the moon, couldn't disarm it. I had to wait until it actually lost RC link before Betaflight actually said, I'm done, and cut it off. And where I fly, there's only like a few small spots in the canopy that's open, and damned if it didn't go through the one open spot, and it just went through to the moon, to the point where I'm watching it just completely helpless, couldn't disarm it. So what do? Let's build another TinyTrainer. I've been sitting on this guy for a while. This is the FPVcrate 533 TinyTrainer kit. I bought this about a month ago, and I just haven't gotten around to putting it together. The 533 TinyTrainer is the funnest quad I own to fly. Like, all 5-inch, 7-inch, X-Class, 4-inch long range. I know you can't see that. I've got this thing zoomed out a lot because I'm sitting down instead of standing like I normally am. There you go. X-Class, right there. So, yeah. Had a few pops tonight. I've been slaving over my car all day. I don't know, is that the right thing to say? Working on my car all day. It's an old 06 Volkswagen Jetta with darn near 300,000 miles on it. Just trying to keep it going because I'm too darn cheap to buy a new car. Don't want to buy a new car. I absolutely dislike the idea of buying a new car, just because, well, it's not one of those things I want to spend my money and time on. Gets 50 miles a gallon on old dinosaur farts, so I might as well keep it going. And it's not too terrible to work on, but it is old and rusty. It's a Michigan car, so she's slaughtered plenty of deer and seen plenty of road salt. So, anyways, without any further ado, let's get some music going, just because I need something to listen to. I'll skip that one. Yeah, well, let's head over to the bench and start tearing into this thing. I'm not even really sure exactly what's in this box. I know I opened it up and took a look at it once, but that's about where it stopped. All right, let's switch over to the bench cam. Well, that doesn't really work if I'm sitting. I usually stand and stream, so it's a little different. Let's see, I'll re-aim this thing. That's a little better, right? Good enough? Alright. Alright, let me know if it's too quiet or too loud or whatever. Okay, what do we got in the box? Stickers, don't care. Frame. Props, we'll put those aside. This one comes with 3 sets of props. These are going to be the HQ T3 1.8 by 3s. I really like these props. These have always worked really well on the TinyTrainers that I've had. More frame parts. This is all the TPU stuff and the polycarbonate canopy. 5 of the TinyTrainers, or 4 of the TinyTrainers. These are pretty nice little motors. The other TinyTrainers I had the the iFlight Zing 1404s, I believe. But these are the 533 533's in-house props or motors. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of missed words and slurring, and I'm tired, guys. I'm tired. I need to get this done. These are notchy as frig. Also, really notchy motors. Should be interesting. TinyTrainer, that much fun, huh? Yeah, absolutely it is. It is the funnest quad I own. If you haven't built one or flown one, I highly recommend giving it a shot. So we got a Luminaire Axie Micro. Right hand. What camera they sent with this thing? I guess I could just look at the back. Caddx Kangaroo. Not a fan of this camera, but screw it. We'll use it. I am not a fan of any Caddx cameras. I know they do make good cameras. I just don't like them. I am a RunCam fanboy. Always have been. I've tried Fox Ears. I've tried Caddx. I've tried a lot of different cameras. I always keep going back to the RunCams. Let's see, the flight controller is the Beta FPV F4 20 amp AIO. Let's see, what's the processor on this? F405, okay. So at least it's F405. F411s, I would stay away from those. They're getting a little long in the tooth, and they're kind of running their course. So yeah, I'd stay away from the F411s if I were you. Let's see, Beard and Hammer. Built my first complete quad from a kit pieces about 2 weeks ago, and a second from the same kit finished up last night for a guy. I really find myself enjoying the build process. Yeah, I really do enjoy the build process. When you have good parts to work with too. So we got Mann's LEDs. So this is kind of nice. I was using the white noise LEDs. No, Tiny's LEDs on my other ones. This is kind of nice because this top PCB is actually that's cut really low. God, it's a ton of LEDs. Does that run on 5 volts? I don't know. One of these TinyTrainers I built, I had to run a separate BEC because it had so many LEDs in it. Let's see. Does not say voltage input. VIN. Well, that's not VBAT. Oh, it says LiPo voltage, so that's a funny way of getting around to it. But it says connect your FC's LED pin to DI, ground to ground, and VIN to pin with LiPo voltage. So must be able to take up to 4S. Like I don't know why you wouldn't just put what the input voltage is. I don't know. Weird choices. Weird choices. Let's see. Toxic, have you built an HD TinyTrainer yet? No, I haven't. I've got a HD TinyTrainer frame. And I've got the Fat Shark Bite Frost thing system. Bite Shark? Shark Bite? I gotta fix this. This is irritating me. Hang on a second, guys. There we go. That's a little better. I've got the Shark Bite? Yeah, Shark Bite? Whatever it's called. No, Bite Shark. Shark Bite's the plumbing fittings. I've got that system. I was thinking about putting it in a TinyTrainer build. I don't know. Maybe I'll put it in a whoop. I don't know. Anyways, that's that. The beta FPV AIOs, I've actually had pretty good luck with them. You know, knock on wood. Hopefully this one is as well. AIOs are hit or miss. You've got to be a good pilot to make an AIO last a while. And what I mean by that is you've got to know when you're pushing it, when you're going to burn it up, when you're crashing, you can't throttle out, when you probably shouldn't turtle mode. Most people kill AIOs because of water or because of getting the prop stuck and drawing too many amps. That's where most people mess up. If you find that you are a type of person who flies without your finger on the disarm switch, AIOs might not be your not be your thing. But I push my AIOs a lot harder than I think most people do, as far as doing dumb shit with them. Oh yeah, this is gonna be a sweary stream, so if you're offended, sorry. Not much I can do for you on that one. Far too tired and lazy to reach for the old bleep button. Yeah, I know. I could just not swear. You say that. But you don't know what kind of day I've had. So as far as the car goes, I've been having a charge air leak, and if anybody says charge air, that means we're talking about a force inducted car. So it's a turbocharged car, it's a diesel. I had a charge air leak I've been dealing with for a while. I finally had some time and some, you know, the energy to deal with it. So I've just been doing a lot of the things that I've been needing to get done on the car for a while. Ellen, JHEMCU AOs have had really good luck, and the iFlight F7 Beast AO. Yeah, I've got a H7 Beast I've had really good luck with. I've got a JHEMCU that seems like it's doing well, but if you start doing black box analysis on it, it's a pretty damn noisy board. I don't know if it's really all that good. But it works, and it hasn't caught on fire yet. It seems to fly just fine. But I think if I had something in there recording like a GoPro, I think you'd probably notice the vibrations in it. Not a lot of. I've done a ton of tuning on it to try to tune it out, and it's just a noisy gyro on a pitch axis. Swapped in a different FC, and it's much quieter. So take that for what it's worth. Beard and Hammer, Navy vet, so sailor and all, not offended. Thank you for your service. Coasty here, so. I know the Navy invented sex, and the Coasties, we introduced it to women. Just a fun little joke there. If anyone's into PC games and like skateboard games, Skater XL, really interesting. I'm not big into games. I mean, I used to be, but where I was before I moved here, I didn't have internet for like 5 years. So I kind of stopped gaming. I was big into Halo and Call of Duty and all that stuff, but just couldn't play it, so it just kind of stopped. I've played a few games in the last year or so with all the pandemic stuff. Got into Cyberpunk. I really enjoyed that game. I've done a little bit of Call of Duty. My reaction skills just aren't there anymore. Let's see what else. What other games have I been playing? A little bit, not a lot. And when I say play, I mean like once or twice a month. Let's see. CSGO, Overwatch. I tried playing Among Us a little bit. That was interesting. Didn't get super into it, but it was fun. Yeah, decent footage from a naked 6. Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, I say that, but of course that's a sample size of 1. So it's the only board I have from JH-EMCU. So take that for what it's worth. I wouldn't recommend against it. I'm just letting you know what my experience was. Also, it's a F411 with bidirectional D-shot on and black box logging. It doesn't have enough processor power to actually do RPM filtering. So take that for what it's worth. That board is stretched beyond its limits. F405 is what I would go with. F7s I would go with, but F411, I think she's about done. Which takes me a minute to remember which was the front on this thing. Playing Ark Survival, and I'm loving it. What kind of game is Ark Survival? I've never heard of it. Days Gone is out on PC. Amazing zombie game. Days Gone. Days Gone? Okay, Days Gone, comma, is out. Gotcha. Let's see, I watched a zombie movie just the other day with the wife. It was really good. Well, I mean, it was very enjoyable. It was entertaining. I'm not a movie snob. If it's entertaining, I like it. Crap, I can't remember the name of it though. It just popped up on Netflix. It's pretty good. I enjoyed it. Has Dave Bautista in it. Army of the Dead? Army of the Dead? Is that what it is? I've always loved zombie movies. I mean, so much where I've watched like old zombie movies from like the early 70s and 80s that are German, that are dubbed over into English. They're just corny as shit. Like probably the corniest one I ever saw was I don't know, it was like this couple up in like a ski chalet up in the mountains, and like Nazi zombies came to life. It was so bad. It was so good though. I very much enjoyed it. I think it was actually called Nazi Zombies. Army of the Dead. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, it was a good movie. I enjoyed it. Pretty predictable, but still entertaining. Entertaining. That's what I'm going to go with. Entertaining. I don't know if Evil Dead, that was one of my all-time favorites growing up. Shop smart. Shop as smart. Okay. Oh, damn it. You're right. I totally forgot to print that out. I know your design is definitely better looking. I don't have it. If I don't finish this tonight, which I'm pretty sure I won't, I'll definitely print out your design and give that one a go. Sorry. Somebody keeps bugging me about a 4-inch TinyTrainer, but I'll be honest, I have not seen hide nor hair of that thing. If anybody knows where to find this mythical 4-inch TinyTrainer, let me know. I don't think it exists. I don't think it exists. I really should be building the center section first and not putting this piece on. Oh, let's see. Alan, I've been steady moving all my AO boards to F7. With the chip shortage, it's getting hard to find pin eyes on the new F7 diatonic AO. Yeah, I found that if you want anything in this hobby right now, and probably for the next 2 years, unfortunately, just pre-order. Pre-order is what you gotta do. And if you're gonna pre-order,
just tweetfpv.com if you want. Click on the affiliate links. Chill. Got to keep this thing going, guys. I mean, I'm going to keep doing this. Regardless. But it certainly makes it easier to my financial advisor up there to justify if I can actually break even with my hobby. Well, you married folks, you should know what I'm talking about. So you have seen pictures of a 4-inch TinyTrainer. Eternity, should I buy separate analog goggles or use analog adapter for my DJI goggles? I'm not really sure yet. If you're not really sure yet, then just get the analog adapter. Because they're not that expensive. And if you find that you are flying analog more than digital, then go buy a set of goggles. And then the longer you wait, all you're gonna do is find better goggles for cheaper. You know, after I got the DJI system, everybody asked me, like, what's better, digital analog? And well, neither one's better than the other. They're just different. But if somebody said you can only have one pair of goggles, which one is it? Without hesitation, it's the DJI goggles, because it can do both. Analog goggles can only do analog. The DJI goggles can do digital and analog, and it does analog pretty darn good. I had my goggles, my Orcas, torn apart, and I was flying my DJI goggles for, I flew them for a couple months, no, about 2 months, and that's the only thing I had were my DJI goggles, and I'll be honest, I didn't miss my Orcas all that much. I mean, yeah, when I put my Orcas back on, I was like, oh, damn, these are so much better, but I didn't miss it. I wasn't like jonesing to get my Orca goggles back. They're better. They're better at analog. They got OLED screens. They're lighter. They fit better. Better DVR. But if you are on the fence and already have DJI, and can only afford one, definitely just get the analog adapter. But if you're gonna get an analog adapter, there's only one out there I recommend getting, and it's the Steve Evans makes one. He's got it on eBay. I have a video. Go and search for it. I'm not gonna go and punch the doobly-doo, but it's a SLS printed nylon faceplate, and the footprint is extremely low profile. Yes, you do have to open your goggles. You do have to modify them by scabbing wires onto them. You're not like changing anything on the inside. You're just tapping into signals or power and video. So it's a really easy mod to do. If you can build a quad, you could definitely do this mod. Don't be afraid of your goggles. Warranty voids, unless you damage something, is unenforceable in this country anyways. But it is the best analog adapter. It really doesn't add too much bulk to the goggle at all. Very minimal. Actually, if I had them here, I'd show you. Bad Boys FPV, I got all. Cool. Beard Hammer, my wife of 22 years, does manage to tolerate my hobby spending. Yeah, I hear what you mean. Oh, you got the Beast, yeah. I think I saw the 4-inch on the 533 Facebook group. I've been one of those modified versions of my nose. I think you want 3S long nose version for the kangaroo. Okay. Eric Allen, hey, I'm listening and cleaning and searching an airplane. Sweet, Eric. How are you doing today, man? I know you're probably busy working, so no need to reply, but hope you're having a good day, man. I know a couple of the guys went to the field to fly today. I really wish I could have got out there, but had other things I had to deal with today. Gotta fix the stupid car. So I had a intercooler leak, which that was fun to deal with. Got a new intercooler from Rock Auto. That thing was even worse than the original one I took out, so that was pretty freaking annoying. So got a new intercooler, pressure tested the system, no leaks. I have been meaning to replace the EGR cooler, which started leaking exhaust into the cabin last year. So I basically cut that thing off and blocked it. I had to put some block off plates in, had check engine lights afterwards. It's just a lot of weird issues since then, a lot of performance issues since the EGR wasn't working right. So my plan was to replace that. The intakes on these diesel cars get heavily carboned over. Like almost 20% of the intake diameter is plugged with carbon, and it's pretty common. But to get the intake off, you gotta take the turbo out. The car's got almost 300,000 miles, so now they got the turbo out. I replaced the turbo. I was planning on it. Turbos are darn near $900 for the car, but you can replace just the center section, which is the spool and the hub, which then you'll have basically a new turbo, because the rest is all just cast exhaust manifold parts, which those don't wear. Or they don't. I mean, they can get holes in them. We'll put it that way, but they don't wear typically. So I managed to get the spool out, because that's always the trick, is if they're just badly rusted in place and you can't get them out, or you break the bolts out trying to get it out. Luckily mine came out fairly easily, so I'm gonna go that route and replace the spool. Spool is about 150, so that's a hefty savings. Good. Glad you got to fly, man. Yep, 2 streams in the same day. Yeah, in the beginning, I kind of made mention that I've got quads I want to build, and I like doing them on a live stream, but when I'm on that 10 to 12 time slot, which works really well for me and the family, nobody's really up and about quite yet. I mean, people are up, and my wife and my daughter are up and moving around, but their plans haven't really started, so it doesn't dig into their day too much by me doing this, so it works out really well. They're fairly happy with it. It's worked out well, but with that time slot, it doesn't give me much time to do things like this that take a while, that don't have like a definitive end to them, like building a quad. For like building a quad. So, and backing up into that Bardwell time slot, it's just nice to spark this up and just see, just hang out. I'll be honest, like these weird like rando night streams, they're more enjoyable than you might think. It's just laid back, just hang out, put quads together, answer questions, chit chat. DQ, what car? Volkswagen. It's a 06 Volkswagen Jetta Mark V, TDI. So burning dyno farts. Gets 50 miles to the gallon on diesel. I do have another one. I have a 03 that my wife drives. That one gets 55 miles to the gallon. And I'm talking like 55 miles a gallon, not trying. Like 80 miles an hour on the expressway with the AC on. Little hidden gems that people didn't know about, that are, they're great cars. Not family cars, though. They're not built for kids. But mine's an 06. It's a little bigger. Doesn't get quite the mileage, but it's a safer car. It's kind of like our family road trip car. It's just a lot more safety features, airbags, more airbags, and all that stuff. But lately we've been driving the truck. It's a 04 Silverado, 2500 Duramax. That's kind of been our family vacation vehicle lately, just because it's got a lot of space, it's comfortable, it's automatic, so those traffic jams aren't quite as annoying. That as well also has almost 300,000 miles on it. I don't own I don't own nice new vehicles. I own old stuff. Ah, you have 3 GTIs. Cool, man. I've never driven a GTI. Don Hulk, how you doing, man? Did this come with a VTX? Oh. Sorry, it does come with a VTX, Unified Pro 32. So I was like, what the fuck? Little secret, I don't like TBS VTXs. Trap has always been a superior VTX since day one. They just don't have the popularity or the notoriety, I think, as the TBS stuff is. I think just the fanboy TBS crowd just overshadowed the Tramp. But Tramp is a better VTX in all regards, actually. Yeah. Yeah, very, very small turbos. Yeah, it's been leaking for a while. Car's been smoking like a freight train, more than usual. It's funny to roll up next to like a Ford F-250 and go roll coal on it with a Volkswagen Jetta. It's always entertaining. And when I say roll coal, man, that 03, it's impressive. Really impressive. Don Hulk, so I got my DJI Goggle V2s and I got my Nebula. Has anyone had issues connecting them? I've heard rumor going around that you need DJI's drone to enable the Nebula camera. I think there's some issues, but I haven't heard of anybody I know of having that issue. Eric Allen in the chat here, I know he's got a set of V2 goggles and does not own the FPV drone, and he's had no issues. As a matter of fact, I borrowed his goggles to connect to a DJI drone that I borrowed from Toxic, who I think is also in the chat. Thank you, both of you guys. Again, that was a great experience. And I don't think they've had any problems on the backside either. So I think it's hit or miss. I think what a lot of it is, I think it's operator error. I don't want to place the blame on the people who own the shit, but I think the typical DJI Mavic iPhone owner, I don't know how to phrase this without sounding like a dick. I don't think they're patient enough to wait for shit to happen the way it's supposed to, or know what to do when things don't work perfectly the first time. Sorry, being Judgy McJudgerson over here. Alright, so that's the base of it. I know a lot of people who build quads from the outside in. They put the motors in first, then they put the center section in, which I never understood. I always build up the stack because that seems to take me the longest out of just about everything on the quad, is getting the stack built up right. And I don't mean by soldering, I mean like just what spacers and hardware I'm going to use to get to where I gotta go. But, you know, maybe that's just me. I'm gonna use my Sequire SQ001. Great soldering iron. If you've been interested in a TS90 but don't want to pay the stupid TS90 prices, get this thing. It's same thing, just cheaper. All right, I gotta grab some solder and a few other little things. Be right back. Just gotta walk around the corner here. Don't leave. Gave away a 4-inch long-range quad today. My day stream. Does that make sense? Day stream. If anybody wants to get on the next giveaway, which will be at the end of next month, it's going to be for a either fully built or all the parts to fully build a 5-inch FPV cycle glide. If you want, go to tweetfpv.com and sign up for the Patreon. You don't need to be a patron to enter. Just the patrons are the only ones that are going to get the notifications when the drawings are live. That's just the way it works. Back to that whole making this somewhat self-sufficient thing. All right. Yes, it's a 3D print device. Yes, it's on Thingiverse. No, I don't know the number. No, I'm not posting the link. And just search for yet another vice. Let's just get that out of the way now. Alan Nichols. Yep, great iron. So, just for anybody who's curious, I solder at 850 dungarees science freedom units. Everything. I don't care how small or how big it is. 850 all the time. The dwell time is what kills electronics. That's what people screw up. So, hot and fast. Tin the pad, or tin the iron. That'll give you a good thermal bridge between the work and your iron. And I always do the positive pad first. That kind of preheats the board because the ground pad usually takes longer to heat up because there's usually more mass there. So you've got to heat the base metal with the iron, and then you got to get into your work. Make sure I'm doing this right. All right. I could probably add a little more solder to that. It's hard to do this without sticking my head over the over the work. You know, do it on camera. It's a little more difficult. I don't know if you guys hear a humming noise in the background. That, if you do, sorry, that's air conditioner. So pretty toasty down here. Hey, Rick Cepeda, how you doing, man? Doing good. Hopefully you had a good day. Very cool device, though. Pretty sure any 3D printer wouldn't be able to print it, which is a little bit of a shame. You know, it's actually not that big. It's a bunch of different pieces. It's split lengthwise here. So the length of the longest piece is only 160 millimeters. So that's the longest piece you need to print right there. And then the width of it is only 35. So it's a great little vise. Yes, you could just go out and buy a pan of ice for less almost than what it costs to print this. But it's a fun little project, and well, it's a fun little project. All right, so there's our power connections. Yeah, 100 millimeter cube. That is tiny. What printer is that? Is that is that a resin printer, or is that an actual FDM printer? Easy 3D. Interesting. You know, and the issue I find with these is I don't think these leads are really long enough. I'll grab a lipo. Double check. No, actually, I guess that'll work. Well, we might as well smoke check it now, right? Like, why waste our time? And always, if you guys are new to the building game, or if you have not watched one of my building streams, number one most important tool that you can have while building is this. This is a 10x jeweler's loop with a little built-in LED hingler. This is probably the most useful tool for building. Just double check your work. Look for stray slaughter. Words are tough tonight, guys. You can check the factory's work too. Definitely able to go and double check your own work. Yes, a multimeter could work. Most people don't know how to use one. Most people don't know how to use one enough to actually be able to determine what's going on. All right, ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, no smoke. That's good. No beeps. Did you guys hear any beeps? I didn't hear any beeps. Do you guys know why you didn't hear any beeps? I know I ask this every once in a while, but it's a fun little question. Oh yeah, second most important tool you can have is this little V-Fly V2 or Smoke Stopper V2. This is also that's the second most important thing you can have. Dually Curl, is this a build kit or a piece-by-piece kit? No, this is a build kit. In the video description, there's a link. The very first one, it's to FPVcrate. FPVcrate, this is completely spec'd out by them. It's all premium components. Yeah. TQ. Parts for ants? What does this say? School for ants? Oh, what a terrible movie. So entertaining though. Oh, that's still hot. Alan Nichols, like the loop, where'd you get it? I got it on Amazon. Let me drop a link there. Come over here, hang on.
There you go.
There's a link to the loop, affiliate link. So if you buy that, give me a portion of the something. I don't know. Let's see. Yarbs, yeah, no motors, no beeps. The motors work exactly like a speaker coil. A lot of people don't know that. King Turkey, have you ever had issues with the capacitor at the end of the leads, like you have there? On the right applications, no. If you have space to put it on the ESC pads, that's better. But sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. This isn't the most ideal position for it, but it's better than nothing. If you end up with weird lines in your video, motor oscillations, just weird things you can't tune out, then that might be it. If this was on a 4S, I would say that this is probably not going to work, but this is 3S, it should be perfectly fine. At least in my experience, it's been fine with lower voltages. I wouldn't do a 6S setup like this. That's just bad. But you know. All right. Got that. Let's put some wheelie bobbers on there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's the motor screws. That is, or the prop screws. I think. Is that 2 sets of prop screws? I guess so. Extra circlips. All right. Yeah, so that could be a sign of something else too. I mean, moving the capacitor, you know, very well could fix it, but it may be pointing to a bigger issue. Like maybe you have a bad component, or you have a motor screw touching the motor. Something else could be the issue. Poorly soldered ground. But you know, if it fixes it, it fixes it. But I would also be sure to go through and, you know, double check your work. Yeah, no problem, King Turkey. That's by Adam Colored. I haven't watched South Park in a while. I assume they're still on. So I've been using Wera drivers for a very long time. These are very, very nice drivers. But I finally broke down and bought a set of MIP. These are more better. Not that there's anything wrong with the Wira, but I just wanted to try them out. I needed another set for working on stuff over here. I don't like dragging tools from one location to another. Like, I do plenty of building here. I do plenty of building on my other bench on the other side of the wall. I have my travel toolkit. I find I don't forget things if I have different sets with a different purpose. Like, you know, obviously, if you can only afford one set of tools, that's fine. Do what you gotta do. But I tend to forget things less if I have intentionally placed things. Rambling gibberish tonight. Ramblish. I finally got a toothpick up and running after a month. It's been too long. I think it's fun. Been only flying my overpowered 2-inch rocket. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens if you went back to cap on the XT60 or XT30 or whatever you're working with. So all my other TinyTrainers were with the Zing motors. Kind of curious. I'm excited to find out how these fly. Hopefully I don't lose this stupid quad like I lost the last one. It's out in the swamp somewhere. Just gotta go find it. It's just gonna be anywhere. I heard it land or crash, so it can't be that far. I know I'm gonna find it, and every bit on it's gonna be completely useless, but I still just want to find it. The bugs of the build is half the fun, right? I don't know. Nothing's more just soul crushing than, like, you get a build done, you power it on, everything's good, you arm it, all good. Arm it again, motor catches on fire. Just like, what? What? Why? What happened? And you don't know if it's that stupid piece of garbage Talon FC that you put on there, or Talon ESC that burned up a good motor. It's always Talon products. I don't like Talon. I have, and so have my friends, had far too many just randomly burned up ESCs and flight controllers on Talon. But I do plan on putting Express LRS back on this one. I don't fully trust Express LRS yet. Because FPV, yeah. Well, I pulled the loop out and searched an hour before the demise. I mean, like, you get a brand new flight controller ESC, and you look over it really good, and you'd be shocked at, like, just stray solder balls and just real bad QC stuff on these electronics. Yep. Friends don't let friends buy Talon. Or HGLRC. Yeah, I take that back. I've had actually really good luck with HGLRC products in the past. Even their older, less reliable stuff. I've always had good luck with it. But it may just be that luck. All right. Something that next time you're building a quad, just for shits and grins, feel how a motor kind of freewheels a little bit, and you can see what it's like when a FET dies. Just go ahead and short 2 of these motor wires together, and this thing doesn't freewheel at all. That's a good way to kind of check to see if you've maybe accidentally bridged a solder pad or an ESC pad. I do like what Tommy Umagod did with his motors. He the wires out of the motor, they're glued together, you know, so they come like that, and you got to like peel them apart. I think that's a really, really nice touch. All right. Beard hammer first attempt to build a quad. Okay, unless you can swindle a replacement. Yeah, it is discouraging to say the least when new components die, and especially when they take out other gear. It's like sometimes you can get a replacement, but a lot of manufacturers won't replace the other stuff that it took out. But iFlight, I was building this X-Class drone over here, and I went through maybe 6 ESCs on it. It was always motor number 3. Change motors, change ESCs, and it just kept eating ESCs. I eventually changed out the flight controller and the PDB, and it stopped. I contacted iFlight. I'm like, look, I don't know if it's a flight controller or the PDB, but one of these 2 components makes ESCs die. And they said, okay, what do we owe you? And I totaled up all the ESCs, the PDB, and the flight controller that I replaced, and they refunded me for all of it. Most of those ESCs I didn't even buy from them. That says a lot. Either they knew they had an issue, or they're just that good at taking care of shit. So, Alan Nichols had 2 250 frames, so you've got a 500 frame, and they fly good as well. Cool, man. I need to grab some tape. Be right back. I'm going to use this Emax tape. I don't particularly like this stuff. I like my Tessa cloth tape better, but I'm going to use it on this build. Now, remember, that was pre-COVID. Customer service for everything has gone to shit since then. COVID's the excuse. Don't worry. Price went up. Why? COVID. Customer service went down. Why? COVID. It is a convenient excuse for everybody and everything. Well, your benefits went down. Why? Well, you know, COVID. It may be the reason, but I find it to be complete and utter bullshit that certain things went to the wayside because it was just a convenient way that everybody was able to get their foot in the door and reset the things that they brought their customers, either from quality or additional features, or I don't know how to describe it. So, like, take airports, for example. Like, I go to a lot of FBOs. You land, you get, $900 in fuel. They give the whole crew a free t-shirt. Now they're like, nah, we're not doing that anymore. You got to buy the t-shirts. Well, what changed? Well, we just decided to make the changes. Nope, that's not why. You found a way to get your foot in the door and reset what it is you were offering your customers. You were able to reset it. can call this the grumpy stream. Oh man. Yeah, Aaron Nichols, what's in your build? I built mine with the iFlight Beast H7. That was clearly a mistake. The company I bought the flight controller from, I wanted to send it back because it has that inherent design flaw. They said, "Well, did you open it?" I'm like, "Well, I pulled the wrapper off." They're like, "Nah, go get fucked." So that kind of sucked. That same company, when I had my TinyHawk HD die on the second battery, like, "Hey, I bought it from you." Company within the U.S. Out in California. Take care of your customer. They said, we don't take care of Emacs products. Go get fucked and deal with Emacs. So I asked them what is the upside to purchasing these products from a local company when I could quite possibly get them cheaper buying them directly from China. And they said, "Well, sorry you feel that way." I asked them, "Well, okay, what other companies are like that?" And they gave me a list of companies that they don't deal with any customer service complaints, be it brand new, dead out of the box, or tech anything. They don't deal with it. They just shuffle you off to somebody else. Makes you wonder why. Like what? Why do I have to work for you to take my money? Sorry. Oh, man. Yeah, DQ. I just ended up using it. So yeah, I bought that flight controller from Pyro. They told me to. Sorry, tough titties. So I just used it. It's a great flight controller, by the way. It does do RPM filtering. You just got to be on a older version of Betaflight. Which sucks. I'm hoping that there's like a workaround in the future. I had Aerolite motors on my 250. I crashed into the gooseneck of a horse trailer and destroyed 3 of the 4 motors. That's not saying there's anything wrong with those motors, but they didn't last me very long. I killed them pretty quick. Oh, I've got other issues with that company, by the way. I'm about to call them out publicly, but I don't want to yet. There's some shitty business practices over there. If I tell you who not to buy from, you're probably still going to buy from them. They're too big not to. Put it this way, they're probably still open. Well, except for Sunday, but never mind, I've said too much. Yeah, I've said too much. I don't want to burn any bridges. There are companies I work with for my grip business that I don't want to. Yeah, just leave it at that. I've been running RPM filtering. It's fine. I switched my Aerolites out to the T-Motor 2004s they seem to be just fine. I don't think they'll be as durable as the Aerolites. They do have a bigger motor shaft and bigger bearings in them, but so far so good. The one really annoying thing about the T-motors is the prop mount is, there's 2 different sizes. I sat there and was just like, just motherfucking these things, trying to screw the prop in, like, what in the hell is my problem? If you look, they're almost like 2 millimeters spacing difference between the 2 mounts. It was just like, what are these for? Why are there different sizes? But yeah, there's 2 different size mounts on the top of it. It's really annoying and it's really hard to tell. Yeah, I got a set of the flow motors on my my personal glide build. It's a HD build. I really like those motors. Travis Scott, God, help me pairing my drone on Discord. Yeah, man, not a problem. Glad I got it going for you. It seems like every week I'm dealing with FR Sky's customer support. I feel like I should be on their frickin' payroll. Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see what other companies come out with, because like once one company does something cool like the Beast, everybody's going to do something like that. Let's see what Diatone and Maytech and the likes come out with. I think Clean Flight had the first H7 flight control that I know of. Maybe Flight 1. I'm not sure. But I know Clean Flight's had one for quite a while. It's not a bad board. There was just a design change in the way Betaflight 4.3 handles RPM filtering. And basically, once you enable RPM filtering on that version of Betaflight, you will lose, I think, Motor 3 output. But if you stay on an older version of Betaflight, it's fine. But the V2 version of the Beast is supposed to have PL2 ESCs, so it should eliminate that issue. I'm not saying it's okay what happened, but it's what happened. Let's see. The workaround for RPM filtering is actually on iFlight's website for the Beast H7. They'll tell you which version to use. What part has the biggest effect on range? Thinking of upgrading the first. Upgrading range first. Well, there's a bunch of different range. There's RC range, there's video range, and there's also battery range. The biggest effect on range is the battery. Lithium ion has much more capacity, a higher energy density, but not as much output. Now, if you're talking about video and receiver, upgrade your receiver. It's easier to see your limit than it is to hear your limit. And what I mean by that is when your radio link is your limiting factor, it's much harder to tell when you're going to fail safe and run out of range, because your radio will have to tell you that, or you'll have to be paying attention to little little RSSI indicator in your OSD, which isn't very linear. It'll be like, 100, 80, 40, 30, and then nothing really quick. It doesn't scale well. Your video being your limiting factor, you can see that. Like, oh, my video looks like shit. I better turn around. I don't have to worry about my RC link because that's can way outrun my video link. So I would say, in my opinion, upgrade your RC link first. It's one less thing you gotta deal with or worry about. Experimental RC, how are you doing? Love my TinyTrainer? I do too. I lost one and I'm not happy about it. I have remote USB to a couple flight controllers, get a pack of USB boards, float off the USB, solder to, that is the downside of the TinyTrainer is every time you want to get to the flight controller, you're clipping 4 zip ties to get to it. I actually bought a Bluetooth module for this, which I don't have yet. And I was going to pack that away inside of this little build here. So I can use SpeedyBee to do whatever beta flighty type stuff I need for like tuning and whatnot. The one I lost, I did have Falco X on it at one point, which was fine. I liked the way it flew, but probably just gonna stick with the old beater flight on this one. Let's see. Reading the chat here. I'm running 6. I'm running 6S on the F7 Beast. Right close to 100 packs on that board. I'll probably just talk too soon and go with flames tomorrow. Yeah, that's always how it goes. What do you recommend for upgrading RC Link that isn't going to cost a bunch of money? Right now, I would still say if you're looking for a longer range link, go with Crossfire. ExpressLRS is a very compelling option. It's just not there yet. There's, it's still on release candidate firmware. It's not. I don't know. I lost a quad on ExpressLRS. I don't know if I'd recommend it. TBS is definitely a more mature system, and with the fact that, ExpressLRS is outperforming everybody else. But what that's going to do is it's going to make these other manufacturers get off their dead asses and fix their shit for lower latency and higher consistency. And I guarantee you're going to see that. TBS is already talking about Crossfire V3 with their existing hardware to fix latency and consistency. So I'm not a TBS fanboy by any means. I actually pretty much hate everything about TBS except for the fact that their gear is solid. Trappy can go, you know what? I hate everything about what he represents and his personality. That's just me. But his products stand on their own. They're good products. They're great products. But just like Fat Shark, they've sat back on their heels because they didn't have any competition. Now they do. And you're going to see them make changes. So it's innovate or die, Yeah, Crossfire still. Yep, Beard and Hammer, exactly. It's awesome and cheap, but not finished. So the issue I had with the ExpressLRS, I was using ExpressLRS 2.4 on release candidate 7, which I think is the most current one, with a Happy Model EP2 receiver, same firmware, Betaflight 4.3, and a nightly version of OpenTX, so I can get the latest and greatest as far out of ExpressLRS. Flew at my yard, things were going good. I got a little bit of a weird yaw twitch, almost like a PID loop runaway, but only on really hard yaw turns. So I did a couple more hard yaw turns, and the PID loop went out of control, and it went through like the only open space in the canopy of trees where I fly at my house. Disarm. Nothing. Rearm, disarm, nothing. Rearm, disarm, nothing. And I'm watching in my OSD, just going to the moon. Going to the moon. I had time to take my goggles off, walk out from where I was sitting, hold my radio up, like clicking the switches. I still had RC Link. And then eventually I saw RX loss in my goggles and it dropped. Yeah. So I'm not saying Express LRS is why it did that. I'm just saying that that's what I was using. And I've had PID loop runaways, plenty of them. Like when you get on the edge of tuning, it's kind of a thing, but you disarm and it stops. Not this time. Something took over control. Something kept that arm switch from going low and registering to the flight controller that, hey, I'm disarmed. Was it Betaflight 4.3? I don't know. Was it Express RLS? I don't know. It's just, I've never had that happen before. Oh, and of course, I didn't have my DVR running because I'm a fucking dumbass. Yeah. What's the range on? It's really hard to say, Ahmed, what the range is. Crossfire on 25 milliwatts will outrun a regular 2.4 system like FR Sky all day long. 25 milliwatts on a 900 megahertz signal is a ton, and it is very powerful. Which module? Flywoo. Yeah, that's the one. King Turkey. I think I remember you saying something about that on Discord. Hopefully mine doesn't do that. We'll see. Boots. No comment. I'm being tall, heavy, and if it matters. Don't know what we're talking about. Don't need long range, just need extra security buffer. Okay, we talked about that. Wait till it can do over the air like Crossfire. Probably got 10 Crossfire receivers and trace receivers and 4 Express OS receivers. Yeah, it doesn't do over the air, but it does do Wi-Fi updating, which is kind of nice. Every Express LRS receiver I've updated at least once. I've had to strip apart, hook up an FTD adapter, bridge the boot pads, and flash over UART. If you're getting Express LRS, buy an FTD adapter. You will eventually need it. At least as things are right now. Ahmed, that's amazing. Just fixed my nano receiver yesterday. Awesome, man. It's always nice when you can fix your shit. It's always nice when you can fix something. Last TinyTrainer build I finished the build and I was like, where on earth are those damn prop screws? I couldn't find them for the life of me. Yeah, they were stuck to the side of the motor. I felt like such a dumbass. I was searching for so long for those stupid things. Been almost 3 miles in Crossfire before video got bad. Yeah, it also depends on how noisy your RF environment is. That's one of the bigger considerations most people don't think about. Just throwing Ghost out there for funsies. Haven't had a single failure yet. Okay, so Yarbs, I have all the Ghost stuff to put in a build that I'm going to be working on sooner or later. And I'm planning on using the hybrid boards. One of the guys I race with, he has Ghost. Everything's updated, current firmware. He's got... He's got a couple with just the ATO receivers, and he's got one. What the frick is going on here? He's also got one, or no, he's got 3 with the hybrid boards. Every one of his hybrid boards fail-safes randomly, and he does not know why, and neither does Immersion RC. Best guess is they've got an issue with the hardware aspect of it, but it's undetermined. It's pretty random, but it does fail-safe a lot, like when it shouldn't. But it's only the hybrid boards, so that's kind of weird. Oh, those solder joints look like shit. Oh, those still look like crap. Dang it, what's going on here? That's better. Oh yeah, the TinyTrainer's tall and heavy. Yeah, it's fun to race with. I tell you that. It is a ton of fun. There's something fun about just being able to pin that sucker wide open and just rip around a track. Something I could never do on a 5-inch, but on this thing, it's not that hard. It's a lot of fun to fly. Let's see. Beard and Hammer have considered ghosts as well. Yarbs, that is concerning. Yes, it is very concerning. I don't know if you've looked at the hybrid boards, but that is the way these companies should be doing this stuff. Well, Yarbs, if you've put 30 packs here, I think that's more than he has, and he's had lots of fail-safes. I mean, I've witnessed a bunch of the fail-safes at a race, too. It's very concerning, but if yours are going good, maybe he's just got a bad batch of hardware. I don't know. He's also using the micro module, or the micro ghost module. Is that what it's called? Micro? Yeah, the smaller JR Bay one. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. And the other shit thing about that TinyTrainer I lost, that's the one I had. I actually had a license for Falco X on it. I wasn't running Falco X at the time, but I had the license key for it on that board. He's using it on a X9 Lite. I would love to use Ghost, except for I have a Tango 2. And I don't believe to play nice right now. Yeah, I have a one H7 Lightning flight controller. One of my race builds, one of my, I think it's on my Leventador frame, and I don't know if I really like Flight 1. I don't know. It seems to be okay, but I don't know. I'm just more comfortable with the way I have Betaflight set up. I'll probably stick with Betaflight. The H7 thing was a fun little experiment. I'm actually considering flashing Betaflight to the H7. I know it's blasphemy, and those flight controllers are like unicorns. Nobody can get a hold of one, and one dies. An angel cries or something like that, right? Yeah. So license like $15 a pop. It ain't nothing. It kind of sucks. But I mean, that's the same as JESC. I've probably purchased 20 JESC licenses over the last year. And just to be clear, I'm not complaining about having to buy JESC. It's a great product and it was worth purchasing. It's just annoying that you kill an AIO and, well, that license is gone. Alright, well, the motors are all soldered up. Folks, little tip, just a tip, just for a second, mind you. When you're done soldering, go ahead and turn your iron off and put a big old nasty blob of slaughter on that thing. This will help keep your tip from oxidizing while you're not using it, because it encapsulates it and keeps oxygen from getting to it. If oxygen can't get to it, it can't oxidize. So, just a little tip there for you. Triple B in the live chat. How you doing tonight, buddy? All right. Not too shabby. Shall we smoke test it? See if we can stop this now before we proceed any farther. right, folks, take your butts. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and no smoke. There we go. This is good. Kids in bed. Yeah. Okie dokie. Now what do we do? I guess VTX. Grammy Tim, how you doing, man? Yeah, we live again. I need to build a quad, and I just don't have time in that pre-Bardwell time slot. So here we go. I don't know if I want to use this mounting board. I don't know. It's like, where's it gonna go? Kind of curious where they intended to put this on this build. I have one. I have the frame for it, but I don't think I was going to put DJI on it. I think I was going to do what the fuck is it? I get it wrong every time. Bite Frost, Bite Shark, Shark Bite, Shark Frost. I don't know, the stupid Fat Shark system. Damn. That was tough. Oh, that was a real struggle getting that one out. It's really just a fam and my dogs. I just gotta make a call. I ain't in all that chatting, not at all, not at all. Yeah, put that on the squad. We've been out here going hard. We on deck, please don't make them. I wonder where they intend to put this. It's like, doing that is just like, that's Bush League bullshit right there. This thing goes back here. Frost Shark. There you go. Yeah, sorry, Dallas. Earmuffs. Fat Shark. Wait, does anybody even care about Fat Shark anymore? Like, I don't hear anything about them except for their digital system, which is, it's pretty cool. I think it's cool. I had their first version of it when it was the big ground station thing. Still pretty cool. Maybe do that. Maybe put that on there like that. So I'm gonna put this on the bottom instead of that one standoff screw. Let's slide this guy right up all up in there like that. Depending on how this one flies, so I've got this one and I've got another one I built. It's basically all the same components except for it's using the iFlight motors. I might turn that iFlight one into the digital version, but I also just bought one of those Flywoo Hex Nanos. So yeah, I mean, I like the idea of the old Naked Vista, but I don't know what the long-term durability of that is. right. Fat shirt. Apparently it looks really dang good in goggles, but I'm pretty sure all digital compression algorithms have pretty hard. Yeah, I've flown the original system. Pretty damn impressive. It definitely doesn't look nearly as good as DJI does, but it's different. Those things were using like an analog to digital camera. I think the new cameras are all like pure digital, so they're significantly better from what I understand. The Hex is so hot right now. Yeah, I bought it and I'm like, why in the fuck am I buying this thing? Like, what is the purpose behind this other than it's a freaking Hex and that's cool as shit. Like, why am I doing this? Stop, dumbass. But I did anyways. I kind of like it. Dauntless says Bifrost looked gross. I don't know. Looks better in analog. Not by much, but it's better. What can you do with a Crux 3? You can fly it and crash it and break an arm. I don't know. I mean, does it have to have a purpose? I don't think so. It's just fly for you. Where the hell these come from? What are these for? Is that for the camera? What the fuck? User manual and help. Oh, you're not much help. I hate having to look up pinouts for flight controllers. It's not that I can use any of the plug headers on this anyways, because they're blocked by standoffs, so whatever. Well, TBS is getting cheap. They used to send like wires and heat shrink and stuff with all their crap. No, not no mo. Not no mo. Oh, God, even this doesn't have a pinout on it. Or does it? Shit, can't read it. Yeah, I can't read it. It's all covered by this Schlashnik stuff, or the heat transfer goop. Alright, I have to go do some confusing. Alright, clear some space here. I gotta look for the wiring diagram for the Nano. I could kind of see it, but I couldn't tell which one was voltage in and which one was pass through. Okay, so it's the top pads. Our top pads are power and ground. Then SMRT ports at the bottom there. Okay, cool. Easy enough. Easy enough. What's this guy? So complaint about Beta FPV is they make like 5 or 6 versions of the same stupid flight controller, and they just keep calling them the same damn name. Just like, I know now they're doing like V4, but it was for a while there. Like, you had to look at the picture and go, kind of looks like the one I got. It's annoying. Sorry guys, it's starting. It's starting. Crux 3 with GPS. That'd be kind of neat. Alright. Is this a BL Heli 32 flight controller? Guys, you're burying the lead. You put it on the damn box. Ferk. Alright, so the one plug is for your receiver, which is completely blocked. That doesn't matter. It's S-Bus. S-Bus can eat it. Okay. There's my pin out. Yeah, Dauntless, I've been doing that for a while now, but it's starting to catch up with me. Like, you know, I work from I leave the house at 12:30 every day, and I don't get home till about 9 for work. Work is hot and it's kind of intense. I work in a building that's not air conditioned. Whatever temperature is it outside, that's what temperature is where I'm working. Gnats, bugs, you name it, got it. They're in the hangar. I'm working with them. Come home, do YouTube-y type stuff, watch YouTube till maybe 11 o'clock, 12. Lay down in bed, watch a show on Netflix until I fall asleep-ish, or until I'm like, I gotta stop doing this. Wake up at 6, get the kid out the door, take her to school, just start that whole bullshit cycle over. It's starting to catch up with me, and I'm getting tired. OGK Kid, decent fume extraction. Nope, I don't give a shit about it. Not much to worry about. What you do have to worry about is touching the solder and then sticking your phalanges in your mouth. That's how you get the lead into your system. I've taken classes soldering with 30 people in a room soldering, no active ventilation. The solder doesn't get hot enough to vaporize the lead. What you see coming off is the rosin core burning off, which can irritate you. Some people it irritates more than others, but for the most part, there's really nothing you got to worry about. It's the physical transferring of the lead from your fingers to your mouth. Don't eat, don't drink wherever you're soldering. Look up the MSDS for the flux. It does say it's an irritant, but it's, you know, like, I'm pretty sure water's classified as irritant as well. So you may be sensitive to it. If you are, then I'll take the proper precautions. But fume extraction is pretty bullshit as it is. You have to have a really good fume extractor to actually be effective. If you're not spending a couple $100s on one, it's kind of just for show. Yeah. Small fan of below flux flumes, or you can just go while you're soldering. It's free. No, you're not going to die from lead poisoning. I think statistically it's heart disease or getting hit by a car. That's how you're going to go. Hey, fuck off. Do what I want to do. I'm not touching the lid. OGK Kid, I don't know who or what you are. Do you drink alcohol? If the answer is yes, then clearly you don't fucking care. Just put it all in perspective. Like if you're worried about what little bit of carcinogens you get out of soldering, the very seldom you do it, but yet you smoke, vape, run a weed whacker with two cycle oil in it, eat cured meats, you clearly don't care that much. Oh, how much is this thing? Oh, let's see, solder fume extractor. Yeah, okay, it's $100. Yeah. I bet you don't see any actual test data on it, you know? Like, I work at a place, I work with fume extractors at work, supposedly. They all have well-documented spec sheets from testing laboratories. This may move the smoke, but I mean, it's better than nothing. If it makes you feel better about it, then by all means, go for it. It's around $100, yeah. Yeah, walk on a super busy street. Yeah, like, put it all in perspective, guys. You know, it's. Fuck yeah, that's right. The first live stream, we ended up going down this stupid road, didn't we, Dallas? Yeah, I got the link for it here, for the thing. It doesn't look bad. I mean, I would never use it. I don't know. I mean, if it makes you feel better, that's fine. It's fume extractors that I've seen come with lots of documentation, and they're always expensive. Yeah, the spinny boy and some electricity. Yeah. There you go. I got this. It's a USB powered fan. Works great for updating vistas. Except for it always falls over on shit and ends up chewing it up. Oh, then again, you know, I've got 3D printer Cancer Boy over here. Like, it's fine, you know. I know that it off-puts particulate matter and it carcinogens and all that stuff, but I mean, unless you're locking yourself in a 10 by 10 room and you're printing, you know, polystyrene, it's probably not going to hurt you. I do have some pretty hefty fume extraction on my laser cutter because I know the stuff I'm cutting is, it's got to be bad for you because everything it comes in contact with, the smoke rusts. But it's just ejecting it outside. It's not trying to filter or purify it in any way, shape, or form. Yeah. My resin printer, on the other hand, I keep that thing out in the garage because that resin's not like can cause cancer. It's like it does cause cancer. Resin's bad shit. It stinks. It's really bad if you get it on your skin. Some people get really bad reactions to it. Plus, I just like to keep it's messy. I just like to keep it outside, out in the garage, keep it away from the kid. I fly drones in the house, and I don't want to knock it over and make a mess. Oh yeah, welding. I got a bunch of family members that are welders. They don't look too good. It's pretty rough on a guy, you know. All right, back to the back over to here. Yeah, welding's bad stuff. I've done a lot of welding in the past. Oh, look at that. Never mind. I take it back, TBS. You did include the little wiry stuff. I just didn't see it. My bad. My bad. I take back everything I said about you. Yeah, carbon filters are awesome, but like as soon as you open it up, they're on the clock. How often do you replace your carbon filters? As soon as they're open, they're working. Unless you hermetically seal them in between uses, they're being used. At work, we use a lot of respirators. We work with a lot of awful chemicals, and we actually test the respirator cartridges to see if they're still working properly. Both to make sure you're replacing them frequently enough, and B, to make sure you're not wasting them. Yeah, we bought a pretty darn expensive machine to analyze the cartridges. Oh, let's see. What I missed getting snacked. We talked about death again. Death and cancer. Yeah, like, I know shit. That's what this devolved into. We'll call it the depressing stream. Did I mention I lost a quad last week? Where'd my solder go? There it is. Yeah, conformal coating is nasty stuff. OGK kid, dude, don't apologize, man. We good. It's all in good fun. And if somebody learns something in the process, hey man, that's cool. Almost no subject is off limits. Some subjects are just more annoying than others. It's bad if I admit that I love the smell of MEK. And that shit is so bad for you. I love the way it smells. It smells so damn good. Oh, it's so bad. I mean, I wouldn't go out of my way to smell it, but I mean, if somebody's using it and I walk by and it's like, oh, God. It's methyl ethyl ketone. Bad stuff. But then again, I work around aviation fuels all the time. That shit has benzene in it. Benzene does cause cancer. My life expectancy will be shortened because of that crap. Burning kerosene? Nah, weird. That's like, I don't know if you remember the smell of the school buses idling outside of school when you were a kid. Oh, man. I don't know. It probably does. But then again, not all flux is the same. There we go. How are you liking the TS100? It's not the TS100. It's actually the SQ001 from Sequire. It's basically a copy of the TS100. Great little soldering iron. But I do like my Heiko 888D more. This heats up faster for some reason. The 888D just seems like it solders better. I like the tip that's on it better. Obviously, I could just change the tip on this if I wanted to. But I prefer my Heiko still. But if you said you can only have one, I'd take this thing instantly. OGK Kid ordered Tweet FE blue color grip for my T-Light a few weeks ago. Did you get it yet? If you haven't watched the video on how to install those grips, I do recommend you go watch it. They're not... No, I'm thinking of a different radio, not the T-Light. Is it the T-Light? There's a couple radios I made grips for recently that are pretty difficult to install. Basically, you just gotta clean it and use heat while you put them on. All right, I'm gonna go over to my hot air gun and shrinky dink this thing down. I'll be right back, guys. There we go. Shrinky dinked. You know, I bought a bunch of different tip sizes for the Heiko, and I find myself just using the same one all the time. I get kind of lazy and just don't feel like changing them. Just kind of deal with it, you know. There's a lot of counterfeit Heiko products out there, though. Something you got to watch out for. I mean, the knockoffs, I guess, are actually pretty good knockoffs, but they're still knockoffs. You know. Funny how a year ago I was getting into custom builds and I swore I wouldn't build with a stack since AIO was this new thing. They're so popular in all builds. This looks like a Tableau 3. Yeah. Switch to larger tip for battery pads. Meh, I usually don't. 1404s? Yeah, 1404s. 1404, 43, 4533 kV. Do you really think it's 4533 kV, or do you think it just took some literary license there and got the 433 on it? But I, in the lieu of the chip shortage, I bought enough stuff to build a 533 Switchback Pro. I'm kind of excited about that one. I've been flying box frames for about 2 years now, and I really enjoy flying box frames. I actually built another box frame this year, one of the Leventador frames. It's like the Pyro Cube, just smaller. And if you didn't know, the Pyro Cube was developed by the FPV Rival guys. It's kind of like their internal name for the quad they flew all last year. Then Pyrodrone started making them for Pyrodrone, or for their store. That doesn't look too bad, does it? Nice and tidy. Let's see, back to the chat. No, buy from Veritas. Oh, yeah. Hell no, it's not. 4533. I don't know if I can run 4S. I'd imagine it would. I don't know if you could be able to fit a 4S battery in there, because the 3S packs pretty much take up all the pouch. I think there's other 3D prints out there for bigger battery pouches, but I mean, as long as the flight controller can handle it, the motors can handle whatever. You just got to scale them down. I'm not a big fan of the motor scaling thing. I think it's a software patch to a hardware problem. The internal resistance of high kV motors is lower, so inherently you have lower resistance components, so you're gonna... I don't think it's a good idea. I wouldn't ever suggest, like, just go out and buy the highest kV motors you can find. That way you can run whatever battery you want. Like, I think it's a bad idea. I know a lot of people do it. These people also do complain about burning up ESCs. I think it is hard on the FETs and ESCs that aren't really designed for that low internal resistance of high kV motors. I think you should buy the right hardware for the right application. Doesn't mean throw away all your 4S motors because you're switching to 6S. Just know that if you start cooking ESCs, there might be a reason why. It's 1240 kV. Yeah, right. 12420. I'm about to have everything I need to complete a 5-inch wasp build. Just need to decide if I want to run analog or shark fart on it. Shark fart, why not? Go for it. OG Kid, just tried to light free solder again today. Lead free. OGK Kid, no. Don't use lead free solder. It requires specialized equipment, and you have got to be really good at soldering to do lead-free. Your solder joints will look like shit, and they won't last very long. I wouldn't mess with it. I would either throw that lead solder away, or lead-free solder away, or mark it as such and just put it in a drawer and forget about it for the next 20 years. Yeah, there was something that, so everything switched to lead-free. God, it must have been back in like 2006 or 8 or something like that. Basically, there was some legislation that said no children's toys can have lead in it, which meant everything that's electronics, like video game systems, Xboxes, things like that, all had to be lead-free. Remember that whole red ring of death that happened with Xbox? That was all primarily caused because of the fact that they were using lead-free solder, and the lead-free solder just didn't hold up well. Lead-free cause of planes crashing, people dying. Possibly. There was also a thing called capped-on wire. Basically, if a circuit breaker popped in the aircraft, the typical course of action is for one reset. Well, with the capped-on wire, you'd reset it once, and the whole frickin' run would catch on fire, and people died. Yeah, Bootschen has he has a bunch of Thingiverse files for this frame. Yeah, Brandon Baked Beans. It's a good way to figure out where your shortcomings are with your builds is start racing. You'll find every little corner that you cut, and it'll all rear its ugly head and cause you not to finish. It's quite annoying. Yeah, racing is very unforgiving to poor builds, or poor quality builds. I'm not saying that you have a poor quality build, I'm just saying, for example. Like all the little, well, I'm just gonna tuck the wires in here. First crash, all those wires come out, get wrapped around the motors. Like what? What happened? Oh yeah, that little guy. I forgot about that little guy. Alright. Probably gotta change these out. I don't like that. I started making local quad buddies that are active. My neighbor down the street used to fly, but now he flies a Mavic. Pfft, loser. Is this the one that doesn't like you once you start flying the FPV Mavic drone? Or the DJI FPV drone? The freestyle guys might try and whoop race with them. Yeah. Whoop racing is really fun. You know, you can sit around, have a couple beers, and it's not like, you know, it's real. It can be real low key. It's something I really enjoyed about whoop racing is, you know, have a couple of pops, put on the, you know, all the LED race gates and the lights and all that stuff, and just have fun. You know, like multi-GP racing outdoors it's pretty serious, you know. I mean, definitely can't be drinking while you're flying, hurt somebody. But whoop racing is just it's a different animal. Oh, come the fuck on. Jesus. There we go. Jeez, come on. Got it. That took way too much effort. Jeez. All right. It used to be cool. I hated that thing. Buddy down the street. If you don't know, it's cool. He stopped by. Fine. That's cool. Tell it's a UFO. I don't know what it is, so therefore it's a UFO. It is unidentified. Yeah, so when I was flying the DJI drone, I noticed that it is like flying a normal drone, except for it's wide open everywhere you go. There's so much automation in it that it's just like full power, go. Like it was just insane. It was loud, like so loud. But I was very impressed with it. I see that now it's kind of, the bloom's kind of off the rose, and I don't think a lot of people are. I wonder what the sales are like on it right now. Like, did it just like peak really quick? Or are people still buying it? I don't hear shit about the thing anymore. Pretty sure one dude at a race in Knoxville a while back was on pills. He just looked wasted. Crashed in spectator area. Vanover and Evan Turner were there that day, incidentally. Oh, wow. Otherwise, it's pretty cool. Got the money going away. Eric Allen, I'm calling it a day. Y'all have a good night. See you later, man. Hope to see you at the next race. I'll keep sending noobs to Best Buy. See me at the park. Tell them they can buy one right now for $1,300 at best. they'll like it. Yeah, I know there's a lot of people out there that had issues with the binding and all that. It hasn't been my experience, but I mean, I'm not saying it's not an issue. It's just, I don't know. I mean, I got to fly it. And I would say if I didn't already have the V1 goggles, the V2 goggles were actually like a real legit upgrade, which they're not. And I could use that remote with the drone, with the air units and the vistas that are here. I would say it's actually it would be a very compelling purchase. But unfortunately, those things aren't true. So. So I've been saying for a while, if you're interested in getting into like the streaming thing, and instead of spending money on an expensive garbage webcam, get a Sony A5100. I don't know if any of you guys watch Linus Tech Tips, but if you do, he just did a thing on like cheap streaming setups, and he suggested getting a Sony A5100 to start out with. I shit you not, the price of these stupid cameras literally doubled that day. It's kind of ridiculous. There we go, nice and tight, eh? Not too shabby. Going along pretty well. I thought the heatsink on the back of the radio controller was just a design element. Nope, it's really a huge heatsink. The radio is crazy built. So the F411 is a no-go. I would say if you had the choice to not do an F411, I would say don't do an F411. Do an F405 or one of the F7s. But I would say, I mean, I would say leave the F411 alone if you had the choice. If the price is right, then, you know, whatever. It still works, but I don't think it's long for this world. Yeah, what Bread and Baked Beans is saying. Yeah, 722. Yeah. All right, let's see. Well, not sure how much farther I want to go on this tonight. Got this canopy here, but I want to use Boostin' JDM's canopy. Of course, I forgot about that because reasons. Old brain fog, right? Is that what this was? Focus, you fuck. Where's my live chat? Hell yeah. So anyways, I think I might call this for a night. See if I can find that STL there for what you got on the Thingiverse. If Thingiverse actually is working. Let's see. There it is. Boosted JDM. Which camera piece did you say I would need for the kangaroo on your files here? .3S long nose. I see 3S 450 CNHL L. Oh, long nose. Okay. Cool. That's the guy. Where to buy a tiny framer train? Tiny framer. Damn, I can't talk. TinyTrainer frame in stock. Are they not in stock anymore? Oh, look at that. They are out of stock. Wow, even FPVcrate doesn't actually have them in stock or for pre-order. It's crazy. You can buy them in the EU. They got them in stock there. 35 pounds. I don't know where you're at. I'm assuming you're not there. Oh, I don't have a black TPU loaded up. I'll have to do that. Let's do extruder 5. Ah, crap. I got a 0.8mm nozzle loaded right now. I'll have to change that. I have an extra TinyTrainer frame. I was gonna do a giveaway for that one of these days. That looks better. Yeah, boost JDM. Or boost in JDM. I'll let you know. Bike CPU makes the quads go the fastest. If that you can't get your hands on red. Actually, I have red loaded up right now. I can do that. Just because you said it, I'll change it to my red. So the printer here, I have 5 different spools material loaded up on it. Yeah. Yeah, damn it, I got that at 0.8 nozzle on there. Oh, fuck it, let's try printing at 0.8. I've never tried it. How bad can this be? I'm sure it's gonna be terrible. Oh, those layer lines are thick. Look at that. Nah, I'll change it out. That's gonna look like ass. There we go. Let's see, a skirt and a raft. It's not really a raft. It's just how Prusa Slicer does the stupid support settings. Which, matter of fact, I am gonna change support blocker. Go away, you fuck. A lot of good that did. Yeah, I'm trying to get it to not do support on the outside. There we go. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. It's better. Let's see. Palette? No, it's the MMU2, Mike Bergman. That's what I got on there. Or OG Kid. It's the MMU2. I have Octoprint. I just don't use it. I used to use it a lot, and then I kind of stopped using it. I don't know why. I really liked Simplified 3D back when I had my other printers. Shit, does Simplify 3D even exist anymore? I mean, they're like the only slicer that charged. It's still 4.1. Like, nothing's changed in, what, 2 years now? But I always found that Simplified 3D did much better support material than anything else. No RPM filtering on the Hex, huh? Can't get filament options to stay on Prusa. No, it seems just fine. Boost in JDM, your stream went all fuzzy. Just you. I don't like YouTube's new mobile bullshit they're doing with stream with the video. Yeah, Simplify 3D. I don't know how they're still in business, man. You know. The hell? What are you posting? What the fuck is this thing? What is this? Just in case you made yourself a model dump truck? Wow. What kind of application would that be good for? Like battle bots or something? Like, that's interesting. Or maybe if you had like that flying mystical spiritual dimension shaped thing that Bardwell was talking about with shit, I can't remember the actor's name. Lawrence Terror. Oh, fuck, I don't know what his name is. Use it for that. That'd be kind of cool. So I assume that these turns you can manipulate like a 6th axis with that. Yeah, the linchpin. That's what it is. Linchpin. Yeah, Terrence Howard. That's... Man, you guys are on it. Yeah, Terrence Howard, his linchpin. That would probably be a way to control it easier. But then again, I don't know what it's like to control it as it is. It might just be pretty straightforward, but I have no idea. Yeah, interesting. Very interesting. Fly Sky doing its thing again. I tell you what, you know, that the Nirvana was a really good radio. I really enjoyed that thing. Let's see if this thing works. All right, can you guys hear me now? Can anybody hear me? All right. Yeah, it's this microphone right now. I'm trying to be productive. Yeah. Let's see. Does that work? Okay, I see what I'm doing wrong. I forgot to add that source to the other things. There we go. Should be on that monitor, that source. So with OBS, every time you switch a scene, let's say I added this microphone to the third monitor view that I had going on. So when I did that, I didn't add it to the SkyCam setup, this one here, so of course it dropped it, because why wouldn't it? Now it's nice and hot. Pop this sucker out of here. And pop the new one in. Oh, the tools are getting so hot. There we go. Got the hot end, the nozzle changed in the hot end, and I haven't burnt myself yet. Close to, but I haven't done it yet. And that's that. Got that changed out. turn this back. All right. All right, I'm back. Turn this thing off. All right, thanks for bearing with me on that one, guys. Brandon McBeans, I want a printer. No, don't get a printer. That's a lot of fucking work. Just find someone to print stuff for you. Brick's Peta looking to get a Prusa. Yeah, so I've had a lot of people ask for my recommendations. Recommendation on a 3D printer. My number one recommendation is somebody else's. And if that doesn't work for you, Prusa. I've owned a couple different printers. The cheaper ones always they need work. They need parts, they need modifications, they need parts printed for the printer. The Prusa, like if you just want to print and not fuck around, get the Prusa. You assemble it, go through the calibration routine, which is pretty much automatic. Well, no, it's almost entirely automatic except for setting the Z offset, and then you just print. Like that's it. It's super simple. Let's see if I can get this to work again. DLC media player. So I used to be able to do this. Sorry, I'm kind of working with something here on the side. 23. Let's see. Sometimes the MU2 can be a bit of a pain in the ass, unfortunately. There we go. That's working. Let's... All right. You're going to lose me for a second. I'm going to mess with something here in OBS. Be right back. All right, you guys can hear me. Let's add a VLC source. No, that's not what I wanted. There we go. Let's see if this works. There we go. So we've got that. And let's add audio input device, headset mic. There we go. And I can do that. Hopefully that works. And now I can hopefully walk around. Yeah, this thing's kind of annoying sometimes. Yeah, so it's a fine balancing act on the MMU2 to like make sure this trigger doesn't go off too early and the other one go off too late. As it gets confused, it doesn't know where the filament's at. So the top one's trying to push filament in very slowly. If you guys can see that coming down the pipe there. On its initial push, it's always a lot faster. This is kind of like the second try, so it goes a lot slower. And it's going to get into the extruder here. And it should trip this one. And I've wired an LED in there so I can see when it does. There we go. Come on. It does require a little bit of messing with, but every once in a while you find that sweet spot and then you don't have to mess with it anymore. I'm really assuming you guys can see what's going on. Maybe you can't. I don't know. But yeah, for simplicity's sake, I don't ever recommend anybody get the MMU2. But when it works well, it works well. There we go. That's that. I was making anybody sick watching this. Alright, I'm really hoping that worked. I don't know, I haven't looked at the chat. Shaky hand cam. Oh, let's see. Back to the chat here. Looking at Prusa. Yeah, the lead time seemed like it was supposed to be like a month before they shipped mine. They shipped it like in a week. I had it in like 2 weeks. It was not what they were predicting. Prusa is the way to go, in my opinion. I've used a bunch. It just works. Don't add the MMU2. That's kind of a pain in the ass. Let's see. Fat Pastor, I haven't seen you in a while. How you doing, man? Just finished my 533 TinyTrainer build and realized the 533 motor have 2mm prop shaft. No, I'm waiting on props. That sucks. Oh, I missed a lot in the chat. DQ, so all the cool features you see on all the other printers, they all start with that one. They all start on the Prusa. Their filament's awesome. Their customer service is awesome. The community behind them, like there's a huge community because like when people set up print farms, it's with these, not any other printer. Like this is the print farm printer. I think they actually have custom firmware for running print farms that they have available for those. I did want to get the Prusa Mini at one point. I was going to, I just never got around to it. But instead of getting the Prusa Mini, I got a resin printer instead, which the level of detail out of a resin printer is just stupid detail. So this is a resin print. It's the level of detail that comes out of it is just crazy. Not the best material to show for an example, but that's resin. It's like almost injected molded type quality. Resin is, the printers are fairly cheap. The resin's not all that expensive. It's a pain in the ass because it's very toxic. It smells bad. If it gets on your skin, depending on how allergic you are to it, you can get these like really nasty chemical burn boils. The resin tends to be way more brittle than standard material. Let me show you. So there's a bunch of different types of resins. So this is a standard resin here. Let me actually go to the bench cam here. So standard resin. I gotta move this camera now since I'm standing. So standard resin. And I'm not going to push very hard at all. Just snapped right off. See how easy that breaks. It's super detailed, very hard, and very brittle. So it tends to break very easily. Now, this is printed with a different type of resin. It's called Syriana Blue. It's a little bit more flexible, but it's still kind of brittle. And you can mix this in with other resins. Like it took a lot more to break that this time. See how it's got a lot of yield to it before it breaks, but it's still very brittle compared to, I'd say that part was just as strong as a normal FDM printed part out of like PETG or something like that. But the detail is just stupid. That's right, I'm breaking parts for you guys. Yeah, don't spill the resin. It's a bad time. Yeah, this was the Syriana Blue. I don't know if this was, I can't remember if this was pure Syriana Blue, if this was like a 50-50 with another material, but like compared to that first print, like this amount of flex that I have in it, damn it. Come on. Like that flexing there, that other one would have just shattered. So it does work well for an application like this where it's like a little cover, it's got to snap in. So I mean, you got to play with the mixtures. But yes, it does look injection molded. It's very high detailed. So let's go back to monitor dose. There we go. Back to this. We can do. All right. I don't know how bad that is with both microphones going, but you can see our progress here. So just a little bit. Not a lot's been done. 3D printing is just so damn slow. But anyways, I think that's going to do it for me tonight. It's awfully late. I'm going to wait for that thing to print. And probably finish putting this thing together tomorrow. All right, folks. Thanks for stopping by. This was a lot of fun. I enjoy doing the whole live stream thing, talking to you guys. It's it's just entertaining. It's nice to have somebody to talk to while I'm doing this stuff. Let's see. What are we talking about? What's OGK Kid? My 6 is kind of sort of fast for me. Sorry for spamming. Yeah, don't worry about it. It ain't spamming. All right, OGK Kid, Fat Pastor, Rick Zapata, Drone Pilot, DQ, Brandon Baked Beans, Triple B. It's good times, guys. I'll see y'all next time, and stay positive, folks.